Hey you guys, it's me, Crystal, and it's November, which means it's NaNoWriMo time, also known as National Novel Writing Month, in which a group of people get together and try to write 50,000 words in 30 days, which is 12,500 words a week, or 1,667 words a day. So today I want to do a quick writing update, but before that I want to do a brief NaNoWriMo history since it is relevant to my writing update. But also before I get into that, I am testing out a new lighting situation, so hopefully maybe the video quality is just a little bit better and the lighting is just a little bit better, and if it is, great, and if it's not, I tried. And also I'm glad you can't see the lighting setup because it's honestly super ratchet. So I originally signed up for NaNoWriMo at the very end of 2011, so it was too late to participate, but my account was like up and rolling or whatever, and so I participated in NaNoWriMo for the first time in 2012 with a project that I ended up calling Chains of Destiny. The working title is horrendous. And so everything was going really good for about 2 weeks, and then I hit a wall and everything crashed and burned and turned to ash. My story fell apart. I'm pretty sure I also fell apart, and I ended up having to go back to the beginning and like do some rewriting. I did get that project finished, but it's a long story. Anyway, so I participated again in 2013 with a project called Winter, or the Winter of Annalena Reichard, and I did win Nano this year. I scraped through the finish line with about 52,000 words. The story was making me so miserable, which is another long story. And then in 2014, I participated with a project called The Raven, and I also won Nano this year with about 55,000 words. And that year, everything went super great. I wrote about, not every day, but I wrote just about every day. And yeah, I finished the first draft, I'm pretty sure, in December, and even though I hated that project when it was done, it didn't actually cause me like a ton of grief to write it, probably because I was in a weird headspace and I wasn't really concentrating or focusing, which is probably why I hate the book, but that's another story. So then in 2015, I signed up with a project called The Inescapable. I wrote it for about a week, and then I realized my head just wasn't in the right place for Nano, and so I quit, and I ended up writing that project and finishing the first draft at the beginning of 2016. And then in November 2016, I was busy editing something else, and so a story that I had written earlier that year, the one I wrote after Inescapable, which was No Rest for the Wicked. So I was busy editing No Rest for the Wicked, and so I didn't participate that year. And then in 2017 and 2018, I was burnt out and didn't participate. So this year, 2019, is the first year that I'm getting to participate in NaNoWriMo since 2015. So if you've seen any of my writing updates, then, or read my blog or anything, or know me in real life, then you know that I've been struggling with my writing for the better part of the last year and a half. The last first draft I finished was spring of 2018, and then I was busy editing that, and then I was burnt out again, and I haven't finished the first draft since, which isn't like super weird. I've definitely gone a year without finishing the first draft in the last 7 years. I mean, it's happened one other time. And so I was kind of like, I had like a super productive 2017. So it was like, it was coming for me, you know, like that writing slump was coming for me. But anyway. So earlier this year, I decided that I was going to do some rewrites, and I'll get to the first one I tried in a second, but the second one I tried was Winter, and I started working on that at the very end of June. And I get to the middle of October and I'm like, I just don't want to write this. I do still really like the characters, and so it's such a long story, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some more restructuring of the plot, and, you know, just do like a complete rewrite, because originally I was rewriting the same story, just like rewriting it better, but that turned out not to be different enough because I was so unmotivated and starting to feel a little miserable, and I'm not trying to get on the misery train with writing, and so if a project is making me miserable, I'm not going to write that, you know. So, but before I gave up on that project, I decided that I was going to try to do Nano, since I only had about 20,000 words on that project. And NaNoWriMo, if I wrote 50,000 words, would get me so close to the end. But about the middle of the month, I was like, nope, don't want to do winter, and so I'm going to do a rewrite of The Inescapable, which was my original 2015 Nano project, because this, I had the plot all ready to go, like things were restructured, everything made sense. But it's kind of like with NaNoWriMo, you need to be able to like go, right? Like you gotta hit the ground running, you gotta be able to move. Like you don't have time, if you wanna win, to like be staring at your story, typing along at a snail's pace, which is what I feel like I'm going to be doing on The Inescapable when I get to it. So I was pretty determined to do a from scratch rewrite as my next project, because like I've never rewritten anything from like scratch before, and I really want to do it. So I was gearing up to do The Inescapable for NaNoWriMo, but then a week before Nano, like the Sunday before Nano, so not quite a week, maybe like 5 days or whatever, I woke up, it was Sunday, I was making my bed, and I was like, oh my gosh, revelation, light bulb, whatever, for the puppet box. And I was like, I think I can fix the puppet box now. And I got super excited and immediately wanted to change projects and treat me with passion. So the puppet box is a story I originally wrote spring 2017, and oh my gosh, I felt like I was losing my mind when I was trying to write that book. Like nothing was working. The character was fighting with me. Multiple characters were fighting with me. Everything felt forced and bad and terrible. And I'm so in love with like the idea of this story, and I was like, I really want this to work, but it just wasn't working. And so I threw in the towel, and I was like, I will try a rewrite later. So later came earlier this year, and I was like, okay, I had like some inspiration, I got things restructured, I got some things rearranged, I got a new version downloaded and everything, and so I was all like ready to go, and I get about 20,000 words in, and I'm like, this still isn't right, and I'm so frustrated at this point, because it's like, I feel like it's never going to happen. Until a Sunday before Nano, when I was like, oh my gosh, no, I can do this. So I changed my Nano project to the puppet box, and that is what I'm currently working on. Now, of course, it's way too early in the month and way too early and this latest version of the project to know if everything is going to work out and to know if things are even going to continue going well, but they started going well. So, yay. So the genre for my Nano project is supernatural horror, and hopefully everything will go well. I'm not necessarily trying to win, I'm mostly just trying to like shake things up and like, like make some progress and like get past this like 20,000 word mark curse that I seem to have right now. And so I'm like, if I could just get to like 30K, then like I'll know if the story's going to work or not, and then it's like I can relax, right? So because it's around 20,000 words where I notice that there's a problem, or like when I like realize I'm not as excited about the project as I thought I was, or whatever. If nothing else, I would like to get to the end of November with about 30,000 words on this project. And also, I have like the entire story in my head, and so it's like everything should go okay. Things are going great now, but it's way too early in the month to be like patting myself on the back. It's Monday, so yes, I wanted to get on here and do a quick writing update, and so good luck to you if you are doing NaNoWriMo, and that is all for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.